Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cowdino Arcade. I'll be your player one, Marker mobkinz78. So, welcome back to Video Game Therapy, where I talk about random things. Now, today we're clearly playing Pokemon. This is Let's Go Eevee. It's in Japanese. I don't understand any of this. Oh, Ima-ka, maybe? That means today. I'm learning Japanese, which is why everything's in Japanese. But that's not the point. This isn't a gameplay video. Today, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind quite a bit recently. Now, I might go quiet and see if I can recognize any kanji, but, you know, as of right now, I can't. This is the second profile I made specifically to do games in Japanese. So for those of you who don't know me, and this will be relevant, my name is Mark, and I'm currently, I'm graduating in December. And I'm doing a double major in computer science and a major called language and mind, which is essentially linguistics blended with psychology, with a little bit of philosophy. Now, this was more or less entirely accidental. Not accidental, a fluke, if you will. I declared my computer science major at the end of my first semester. I then went to declare my psychology major at the end of my February semester. Oh, right, I gotta go find Oak. But the thing is, when I got the form said psychology. Are you declaring psychology, linguistics, or language and mind? Now, for those of you who don't know, declaring a major is effectively just saying, this is going to be my degree. And I have, two majors, so two things show up in my degree. And instead of circling psychology, I circled this thing called language and mind, because I was told it had a little bit of linguistics to it. And I had just read a book about linguistics and game theory. Now, this was in the end of the spring of 2019. I guess this is mostly for me, so I don't really need to provide context, but whatever. It's more so to get used to this. I feel like this is important text on the screen that I can't. Oh God, do I point? Cool. Anyway. So then the following semester I took a linguistics 101 class, which is just an introductory survey linguistics course. A lot of people took it to, get out of a core requirement, so it was a big class. But that semester was very important to me, as I've alluded to before in video game therapies, for many reasons. And I think one of those reasons is because I found linguistics. Now, all of my classes since I declared that major have effectively been linguistics. I took psychology courses beforehand, but afterwards was grammatical analysis, whatever. And that fall semester, that very same semester, I did this video called Duolingo versus Rosetta Stone. This is in the fall of 2019. Timing is important, and I'll explain why. And I taught myself Spanish on Duolingo for a month and Italian on Rosetta Stone for a month. And this was really fun. I really enjoyed this. When I was in high school, I used Duolingo to teach myself some French because I wasn't, I didn't really enjoy the speed at which we were going. So, coming up on minute 4, so I'll wrap this context up. My middle one, I assume? Or it'll just force me to. It is 2021. Just under, I think, actually. 2 years of doing this initial Duolingo versus Rosetta Stone video. And right now, the 2 classes I'm taking to finish my degree are both graduate linguistics level courses. And I really enjoy them. They're very fascinating. Now, the reason I want to talk about this today is because, oh, frick. No, I'm not canceling. I'm not nicknaming these. Is because it kind of baffles me that I'm still interested in linguistics. I want to say a lot, but not a lot. A few people have asked me in a very small span of time in these past, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, why linguistics kind of thing. And not like they're not questioning what I want to do, right? It's kind of like, oh, like what got you interested in linguistics? And as someone who has done a lot of different things, you know, computer science, coding apps, coding games, drawing, animating, modeling, 3D modeling, photography, freaking little bit of hardware and robotics, reading, body language, like all this stuff. The fact that I have stuck with something, namely linguistics, ooh, da. It's a past tense marker. The fact that I've stuck with this shows me that it, you know, I don't even know what to make of it. Because I've just been inherently fascinated with this one thing for so long. It's kind of Pokemon. Bottom left is Pokemon. So never mind. And I don't really know what to think, because, you know, the past couple of months has been applying for jobs in software engineering and stuff. Well, at least that's what I've been going to, because I feel trapped in that view. But, you know, I've been sort of looking at this PhD idea, which originally I was like, no, like, why on earth would you want to do a PhD? You know, I don't really want to stay in academia for 5 years either. But this second language acquisition thing, you know, if I'm sitting in these graduate courses and I'm enjoying them, enjoying my time with them and doing the problem sets and the readings, I can definitely see myself, you know, doing further academic studies and research in this, to say it one way. And also when I apply for jobs, it's kind of like, you know, I enjoy coding, but all day, every day, I don't really know if that's it, Chief, you know? And I've had, a few conversations recently that's kind of like, that have just been enlightening in the fact, you know, there are other people who kind of share my ideas, I guess. I do a Japanese learning log. Actually, hold on, I just got a couple of emails, and oh God, I really hope I could cheat the system. Okay, well, I'm expecting an email saying, actually, this is the kind of thing I should be paying attention to when I play these, but whatever. It's all relative, I forgot. Oops. I kind of forgot what I was saying, but God dang it. Oh, this is unfortunate. Oh, beautiful. You know, right, the idea thing. So I do these Japanese language learning logs, and you can check them out by looking up Mark Bacon Japanese language learning log. I'm sure they'll pop up. And my idea here is that as an adult learning a language, knowing linguistics, I know very little linguistics, if we're being honest, you know, in the grand scheme of things. But I've got enough of an idea that I can recognize these good patterns. Oh, this is good. I'm recognizing a lot of these radicals. Very epic. Pimosani? Piwo. No. Pishipi. No. The bottom is Temosa. Temosa. I'm assuming that's the Pidgey's name. Anyway, yeah, so my idea is this, like, very fascinating to me, at least, you know, concept that as adults, we should spend less time, well, you know, we should still immerse in language, but we should spend less time trying to learn as kids do, which is, and, you know, very systematic approaches at the moment, kind of like do what Duolingo and Rosetta Stone are right now, and HeyLingo and LingApp and whatever. They take this very systematic approach of building up, you know, arbitrary knowledge, but I think there should be this mode, this section that teaches you grammar. Well, sorry, not grammar. What was the better? I forgot the better word I came up with a while ago. the surface structure, I suppose, of things. And I talked to someone just several days ago who connected me with someone else who seems to have similar ideas. Never mind that Temos is not the name of the Pokemon. Korakaro. That's Ko, right? Or is it Aurora? Well, anyway. Yeah, so the idea of, you know, taking more linguistics courses and in a sense doing something like a PhD offers me this ability to still do what I love alongside learning, right? Because if I do, in theory, if I go to a full-time job, you know, 9 to 5, I won't have time to do all this thrilling language learning, you know, video creation stuff. I'll have to cut down even more, which I've already experiencing working 20 hours a week with school. Yatta! Oh, that's cool. Okay, never mind. So yeah, those are the names. So Pipi? Popo. Poshpo. Ororaka. Okay, so the wo was a particle. Ibai wa being the particle for the topic, I imagine. Den ko sekao. I don't know what wo is exactly. I just know it's a particle. Okay. Eevee. Never mind. B and D are. Agabami. I don't know, whatever. So, you know, the idea of taking classes, right, in these areas of linguistics is very fascinating to me, and I really enjoy it now. So I, you know, think the prospect, and this is the crux of what I guess I wanted to talk about, the prospect of going into, you know, if I look at my life very binary, right, and I say, okay, I have two options, which I don't, and neither do you. You're never limited in choice. It's the world, not a simulation. My quote unquote two comparisons, right, are, okay, what if I do software engineering? Well, right now I struggle to sit down and work on coding projects for long periods of time per day. Ima sugu. I don't know any of these kanji. Hi. Oh, okay. I wouldn't remember to go back to Oak anyway. Versus, yeah, imagining myself doing what I'm doing now for 5 more years, you know, making videos and studying linguistics, because those are the only two things. Computer programming, just to a lesser degree, because it hasn't been as consistent. But those 3 things, I suppose, you know, hobby coding projects, video production and editing and releasing and whatever, and academics, those 3 things are the only constants of my life. Which is really weird to think about. And, you know, I guess 2 years ago I would have been like, no, I don't want to do a PhD. But it's no longer doing a PhD. It's this whole, it's, you know, I don't technically want to stay in academia for 5 more years. You know, part of me would rather build up the experience of working, but also the jobs that sound most intriguing to me require a master's or PhD level of linguistics. And doing some sort of, having some sort of published paper or something, which kind of, you know, not the paper itself, but it signifies that I've done the research. Surinomi. You know, it shows that I've done this research and spent time doing something is cool, and I think very applicable. So, you know, the PhD would be the end of academia, which is, I guess, what I thought undergrad was going to be. But I mean, I love teaching, but I can definitely not see myself being a professor or anything. That I want to apply this stuff and change things as they are into something that they could be. You know, and I think I can do that alongside academia still in other ways. Ooh, sakana, fish, maybe. I love the Eevee on the head thing. That's a thumbnail right there. So, yeah, I don't know. I know none of the moves. We are about to find out. Are you kidding me? Bruh. Okay, well that is tackle. What does it say? Ta-i, ta-ri, tayatari. This is sheep. You got kind of a double P there. Sheep wo furu. Nakigoe. Deniu seka. What's this? Quick attack. Cool. Anyway. I don't know if it's an identity crisis or not, but it kind of maybe brings back to the idea of like, you know, follow your heart, right? In theory, I want to do software engineering. Or, you know, maybe like a software consultancy thing. But right now, it's really fun to do linguistic research and stuff. And hey, worst case, you know, I apply for a PhD program in 2 or 3 schools and don't get into any, and then I'm, oopsie. You know, I'm already applying for jobs and the acceptance would be in September. So I'd be working for at least 6 months either way. So, you know, I get a taste for both. Because I've always, people have asked me like, oh, do you want to do graduate school? And I've always kind of been like, you know, do work first and maybe see how it goes. But yeah, you know, I think I kind of want to do this. Put together, you know, I have a research paper from a while back that I did for a class on, that I was very fascinated with. And I think it would be a good writing sample, maybe. I think I could have a strong application. Man, I have no idea what she's telling me. Oopsie. Sidebar, I wish Diamond and Pearl looked like this. I like this format. This like 3D sort of chibi thing, but the Diamond and Pearl is like too chibi. I think chibi is the word. But the Diamond and Pearl remakes, that is. Oh, they give me berries. I forgot that was a thing in this. Okay. Yeah. I guess it really is kind of, I can do both right now. Like I'm already applying for jobs, right? There's absolutely no, I'm not being locked into anything. You know, you can drop out of a PhD program if you know, if I'm feeling miserable after a year, then we out. But it's kind of fascinating because there has been this dilemma recently of, I think, you know, when I do a full-time job, I have to stop doing a lot of what I'm doing. You know, when I'm doing, people often, not often actually, I've brought it up a few times, but the video thing, right? Making YouTube videos, it's always been something like, oh, you know, I'm gonna need to stop this. Cowdino Arcade, I was gonna stop with college, and yet here we are. The lifestyle videos though, I mean, those, I haven't worked on any at all this week. And so this weekend is kind of like get one video done sort of vibe. And that's what I'm gonna have to do during school because of the hours and whatever. But I've been telling myself, you know, when I start a full-time job, YouTube is done, more or less. You know, it's been fun. But at the same time, it's not something I am confident that I'll be able to let go of exactly. Which is a fascinating thought in its own right. And so doing more academics would let me keep doing that. And hey, for the first, you know, first 6 months of 2022, whatever I end up doing, maybe just staying home for 6 months and still doing whatever if, you know, I'm really dead set on school or, you know, don't get a job, but I think I'll be fine. Yeah, they're doing November, no, start of December applications. So I think October 1st, I have a meeting with someone next week. That would be that'll hopefully be enlightening. I don't know, long story short, I really enjoy linguistics. I have no idea why. Like, total fluke. And I say this because it's simply an observation of my own behavior. I would also say I enjoy making things in computer science, but I also get very frustrated with code sometimes. And I find theory fascinating. I think I've come to realize how important it is. But going to do a PhD for computer science or a master's or whatever, you know, that frightens me. That's not something I would want to do. But for all of a sudden, when you turn into linguistics and being like, okay, doing what you're doing now, but more important potentially, and potentially even more significant, it's kind of like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And I don't know, I really don't understand why I want to put it in one way. It makes no sense. Like, there's no, you know, for computer science, I can say I want to be a software engineer because I think I'm good at coding, I enjoy building software, whatever. But for linguistics, it's kind of like, I just observe the fact that I, A, don't get bored, B, I do the readings without procrastinating, more or less. C, I'm engaged in research and actively seek things out. D, I am applying what I'm trying to learn to myself in my free time, like learning Japanese. And I don't know, it's nuts. And it kind of gives a deeper understanding to the whole follow your heart thing, because rationally I'm thinking, nah, I should go into software engineering. Like, I've been coding since I was 12. That's what I, quote unquote, should be doing. And yet, this you know, something was mentioned in conversation and I decided to look more into it a lot. And I have no idea why I like linguistics. It's just an inherent, yeah, no, I love this. See, I dropped that again. I told someone I love studying linguistics the other day, and they were like, oh, you said love, like that's a big word. And I was like, wait, it is kind of a big word, isn't it? But yeah, no, this isn't a long VGT, you know, if you're listening, thanks for listening. Why are we battling? Is he about to be level 100? I really hope not. That's just fun going through a game and not knowing anything that's happening. I think I just need to do it. I just need to apply to some schools. I would probably apply to NYU, MIT Linguistics, definitely, but chances are low of getting in. Chances are low everywhere, I suppose. I just have to develop a really good writing sample. I've got, I guess, research experience. I am taking 2 graduate courses. I think it's a good thing to do. And I've got technical interview Monday, good God. I'm kind of just riding the wave. I don't know. I don't really know how I got here, honestly. How did we get here? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It's fascinating that my life has been, I don't know, on the YouTube thing, I suppose. It's, you know, the end of academia was kind of like this big thing, right? So graduating in December, because all of a sudden I'm going into a job. And I suppose I expect to have to drop all these things I'm doing, but in reality, I wouldn't. Because in theory, you know, if it's a standard 9 to 5, I could still do Japanese in the morning, make videos in the evening. I would still have the weekends, you know, there's, in theory, no homework. So chances are my life would, you know, not change nearly as much as I think it is. Life doesn't have those, it has catalyst moments, but it doesn't have total 180 moments where all of a sudden I do a job and then it's like, sorry, you gotta drop everything else. All right. All right. Like, yeah, I've been talking for a while, but I need to. This has been on my mind, and I think it's, I don't know. I remember high school was kind of similar thinking of like, oh, I won't be able to do Cowdino Arcade anymore, but I still want to do like a vlog thing. And, you know, I'm still doing those. I've found so much interest in things in these last 2 years. Actually developing a social life for once. I don't know. Yappa! I'll think about it more, but I'm glad I got a chance to talk about it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, of course. Part of me just thinks it's this, you know, huge decision. And it is a big decision. But I just think as long as I try both, or at least do what I can for both, you know, don't look, if I apply to 3 schools and get rejected, right, I can at least say that I tried to apply. But on the other hand, if I don't apply, even, you know, if I was to get rejected, 5 years down the line, I might be like, frick, dude, I wish 5 years ago I started a PhD, because then I could, you know, do this or this job, seeing as I hate software engineering or whatever. Yeah, I mean, no one knows what linguists do. How many languages do you know? Well, that's what I do, I guess, as a linguist. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for watching and or listening. I do hope you enjoyed, maybe got something out of this. Yeah, so have a good one. And as always, don't forget to stay awesome. Hope to see you next week.